Hello. How you guys doing? カイ先輩です。これからよろしくお願いしますね。これもうライブやってますね。Well, so I'm glad that you're here. I have been doing a lot, to be honest. It's actually been a very long story. There's so much going on this week. I'm glad that you're here, though. I hope you've been tuning in to what's been going on around the world and whatnot. There's so much going on, but basically, how are you? It's hard for me to really line up the time to talk to you guys. So this is why doing the live stream is so important for me, because it really lets me kind of like touch base with you guys. You know what I mean? In a very real way, because here we go. Yeah, I'm just checking to see that we're live, and it looks like we're live. And so I'm going to just go ahead and put today's sponsor in the comments, and the today's sponsor is me, of course. So if you guys want to learn more about how to kind of like, learn a California accent, you know what I mean? Click that link and I explain everything. It's got my 3 steps, it's got my course, and it's got my subscription service, and it's got my free book that we're going to be talking about today. But I do welcome you. If you want to kind of like learn, I don't know, like how to talk like a Californian, then like this is the place. All right. So I'm trying to give you guys the most beneficial and impactful hour that I can possibly give you. So basically, every single day, I get about 10,000 views on YouTube. And this is a big number for me to understand, because I'm not good at math. I'm good at language. And I'm going to basically kind of, give you guys an hour of how important language is. But if you guys really want to focus on language, well, you got to really focus on sound. And I've developed a lot of, I want to get this mic nice, and it's like I hear half of it. Is this better? This sounds a little better. One day I'll get like maybe a better mic, but I'm trying to give you guys the pure rambling man kind of like English. This is not filtered. This is not scripted. Of course, I know I'm going to say a few things, like for example, language is a sound, right? Like I'm going to say a lot of obvious things, I think, but what's obvious to me or other people may not be obvious to you. So hopefully in this conversation, if you got any questions, just simply ask. And this is hopefully going to be the theme of what we're going to be talking about, because seriously, if you got a question, you just ask, and that's how you're going to learn. And unless you ask an actual human, I don't know what you're going to get, because I remember when I was learning Japanese, I was like, hey, am I going to learn Japanese? And they're like, I don't know. We've never really taught Japanese to a foreigner, because we've never really met a foreigner before, and we've never taught Japanese before, so we don't know. And that was an honest answer to a real question, right? 10 months, but, we can get into that in a different subject, because, a lot of this is, how do you have the authority to teach, right? And it's like, well, I learned a second language, and I was an adult when I learned the second language, so I kind of remember what I did, And I don't want to get too deep onto other people's backgrounds, because there's millions of backgrounds that we come from, and anybody that learns a second language as an adult has some sort of like boon, you know what I mean, that maybe somebody else doesn't have, because they had real world experience that taught them how to do it, right? And they're basically trying to share that with everybody, which is noble, right? So this is simply my story and my understanding of the whole game, right? So basically, we've been learning languages for hundreds of thousands of years, no, 100,000 years or something like that. Like prehistory, kind of existed before history, right? And it's not like we developed language 10,000 years ago or even 5,000 years ago. Language existed as an audio medium for like 100,000 years, guys. So like anybody that thinks they're coming to the internet to like, hey, I'm finally going to learn English, is like, whoa. You might actually be taking steps backwards by using AI to teach you how to learn a language, because if your game isn't to like talk to a human, then I don't know what your goal is, and this is real. Because like I am getting so many ads because I am a YouTuber, right? So I talk about, learning a language, learning English and stuff. And so I look at YouTube, I look at Instagram, I see what's out there, and I'm getting these ads for these companies that are teaching English, and they're like, what? I can't believe they're in business, to be honest, because it's just kind of like, wait, like your solution is not a human, huh? how does that work? And like I see a lot of like content that's like, hey, learn English with AI, and that scares me. And if it doesn't scare you, then maybe you haven't thought about this deep enough, but or maybe you have and you've just come up to your own conclusions. And if that's the case, I'd love to hear about them. So if you guys ever have a question during this, feel free to chat me up. I'm basically kind of rambling at the moment because I know it takes a few minutes for you guys to get here, and it feels like it's already been like an eternity since we started, because we're going deep, and we're going deep really fast. And for me to actually deliver any value to you at all would involve a conversation, and that's it, because the only thing that's ever going to teach you is, battlefield experience, as they say. And if you want to think of it like that, because there's different ways to make this analogy, but basically by going out there and having a conversation is the only way that you're actually going to get better. So for every lesson, for every book, for every video that you watch, you're just kind of like delaying the inevitable battle that you're going to have to do and get out there and like show your face like I'm doing now and state your case, kind of like show the world that you speak English or don't, and like if you don't, that's cool. It's fine to practice. Trust me, I did a lot of practicing day after day, hour after hour, just sitting there at the little こたつね、こたつ覚えてる？懐かしいね。See, you want to talk about remembering how to learn a second language, right? So, yeah, wow, what a memory. That just hit me like a ton of bricks. I was just kind of thinking about it because honestly, like that wasn't the most exciting part of my life, kind of like sitting there remembering words. But I had a goal in mind, and that was to come out the other end of this, fluent. And, for better or worse, it kind of worked, right? I don't know if you guys know my full story or not, but like after I learned Japanese, I lived in Tokyo and was like, how do I do something with this? Like, so what? I speak Japanese, I speak English, I'm bilingual, big deal. So what? Somewhere you still have to make sense of everything, right? But just somewhere like, how do you say, like down the middle, like what can we all agree upon? Well, let's learn how to talk in English. Now, learning a second language could involve Spanish, German, Chinese, Japanese, anything, right? Depending on where you are in the world, right? Or from where you are, from where you come from, right? But kind of where I'm aiming for is this kind of like global conversation that's hopefully going to happen in the next few years when people realize the human-centered value of language and in all its aspects. You know what I mean? Like, it's rather ridiculous how things are set up at the moment right now, and with corporations kind of driving for these automated conversation bot kind of things, which is kind of interesting. Like, playing a video game is interesting, but not as interesting as having a conversation with a real person. And I talk to AI myself, but I talk to it about things that it's good at, which is literal like logic and spreadsheets. Like, I'm getting AI to analyze my YouTube channel and click-through ratios and stuff like that, all with the hope that I'm delivering this message to the world in a efficient medium, if that makes any sense, right? And so where are we going with this? It's like, well, I know for a fact how I did everything, and it worked, right? And it's backed by thousands of years of experience, right? Mickey's Piano from America says, good afternoon, good morning. That's yeah, I mean, again, I always have this like conflicted, who am I talking to, kind of like schizophrenia, because when I speak in English, it's kind of like, well, I assume you speak English, right? And if I'm speaking in Japanese, I assume you speak Japanese. So yeah, so if I'm speaking in Japanese, I would assume that it's ohayo. And if I'm speaking in English, it would be good evening. But Mickey's Piano from America, by the way, is probably in America, but maybe not. I don't know. From America だfrom America だったらじゃあ日本にいるということですよね。違うか。まあまあまあ、it's amazing what you can tell by from reading just somebody's name. But hey, that's what this is all about, right? Like when you click Kai Senpai, obviously あ、そうだね。なんだろうね。空気読めない先輩ってなんだろうねって感じですね。まあ、俺はちょっとアホやからなんかはっきりこう、アメリカ英語の先生みたいなつまんないネーム、ちょっとなんだろう、苦手って感じ。だからまあ自分らしくじゃないともう意味なくないって感じ。わかんないけど、だからまあ海先輩ですけれどもね。But anyway, Mickey's Piano, thank you for tuning in, and I hope that whatever is going on in your world is relevant to our world. Because, yeah, getting back into like the global conversation kind of thing, it's kind of like my understanding that if all the humans could like communicate in direct conversation, that progress would happen. Now, it's a simple assumption, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't care. And I'm going to keep going that direction, if you know what I mean. So, one of the biggest barriers to humans learning a language is, well, one, lack of direct contact with people that are actually speaking, day-to-day normal English, right? And then two, a lack of knowledge about how language is actually acquired. The biggest problem with everybody learning a language is they're looking when they learn. You know what I mean? I mean, do you see what I'm saying? Like, if you're looking when you're learning, you're on the wrong path, if that makes any sense, if anybody is actually listening to what I'm saying. And if you're just looking at my little screen here, hopefully at least you hear it. You know what I mean? Because like it's all about the sound. Hey, Mickey's Piano does have a question, and I'd love to answer it. So I was in America, but I went back to Japan last year. Way to go. Back to Japan. Sounds like a movie or something. But if you have a question, hopefully it's relevant to what we're talking about, because I don't know if aliens exist. I suspect that they do, but like if that's your question, I'm not an expert, can't talk about it. But I'll try to stick to what I know. And if I can't answer it, I will tell you I can't answer it. And if I won't answer it, I'll tell you I won't answer it. But please, go ahead. Share in the conversation, because it's interesting. Me and my best friend, in fact, have conversations regularly over coffee. And we were in a band together. I started traveling around the world, so I kind of had to drop out of the band. but he's still playing, and he's still playing with our bass player. They got a new drummer. Anyway, he was telling me about a show, like 20, 30 people showed up. He invited me to go out. And this was last Saturday. I'm like, well, I kind of got my own show. Like 100, 200, 300 people show up, maybe 600, depending on like how, what I talk about, but I'm kind of like, no, I got my own show to do. So thank you very much. But this digital show is such a different beast than any other kind of like medium or platform or stage out there, because it's just so, what's the word when you kind of like making up stuff and creating some sort of like story and like lesson. It's all like this imagination that eventually, somebody's going to hear it, right? But I already know that people listen to this. Like, I know people watch my videos, like I said, 10,000 views a day. A lot of other companies would like to know what I'm doing, and it's really simple. I'm challenging the status quo. I'm challenging the system. I'm challenging everything you think you know about learning a language, because if you don't speak English by 2025, you have the wrong operating system. That's it. Your brain's fine. Your access to information is fine. You're just selecting the wrong information to focus on, and it's not your fault. Because if anything, Mickey, I'll get to your question once you get to it, but I have to share this because, I'm not going to dumb this down. You guys are smart people, and I want you to know there's 4 stages of learning, and these 4 stages really are everything, and I'll explain. So right now, you're unconscious that you're incompetent, and there's a wall that you don't even know is there. And then you become conscious that you're incompetent. Hopefully, as you hear this message, you might understand what I'm saying. But then you take this step to be consciously competent in what I'm saying. And that's like, really getting into like lessons and stuff like that. But finally, you get to the final stage where I am, which is unconscious competence, where you don't even really understand exactly what's happening, but it is happening. And it's happening unconsciously. Like, I literally do not know where my words are coming from, but they're coming, and they're directed to you, and they are in your service in a sense. But that's where I am with everything, in my understanding, because I'm unconsciously competent in English. I don't even have to think about it. I just ramble. Now, if you guys are unconscious and incompetent, you don't know what to do, right? And so you listen to somebody that you think might have like an idea of what they're doing. So you listen to these teachers, right? But some of the teachers, I'm telling you, like if they're advocating for AI, it's not your solution. I'll guarantee you that. It could be a tool, but it's not going to be the thing that like actually gets you fluent. You know what I mean? So you do have to be conscious of who you're listening to, and some people just literally are telling you the wrong thing. I mean, what was the YouTuber, and her like best advice to getting better at English was like literature, and it's just like whoa hold on, we can't even say abroad correctly. I think we need to recalibrate what language even is, and this is where most teachers get it wrong, is they confuse literacy with fluency, and the teaching of written letters as some sort of, and the measuring of your answer, ABC, TOEIC scores and whatnot, and written English and tests and all that. It's like literally the wrong game, like it's like, English is like some sort of like boxing competition, and literacy is like riding a bicycle. I mean, they're just totally different things, you know what I mean? So anyway, Mickey's got a question. It says, normally Japanese learn English at school. Exactly. Normally, right? Mainly American accent, not Australian British. When I lived in America, I found out there were various ones. When I live in America, there's various. Which one difficult to listen? What? So the American, normally there's a school, right? American accent, right? Not necessarily right. When I lived in America, I found there was various ones. You mean various American accents? Well, you're hitting on a big entire video series because when I do research like on American English, right? Like online, right? One of the things that constantly comes up is like American English versus British English, right? And that is a big distinction that everybody should know for sure. But what about the difference between American English and American English? Because there's actually well, let's see. Since we're talking about it and since I got the drawing board out, there's like a West Coast English. There's like a Texas. I would say there's like a Deep South, maybe something like a Alabama, right? Then you got like a New York, but then you got like a Boston, and I'm sure there's just like general New England, which is different than Boston, which is different than New York. You know, New York is different, right? And then Chicago, that's kind of an accent. Chicago, whoop, it disappeared, right? And then, you know, West Coast, maybe kind of like would include, you know, Seattle and Vancouver. But then there definitely is a Canada accent, like if you go into Toronto. So all of this to say, this is a map, by the way. There's a lot, and it's like, where do you even begin? And so that's why, New York, exactly, Chicago, Texas, exactly. And what's the difference? Well, yeah. So welcome to the world of sound, because a lot of the lessons, then if they try to explain it, you know, they're going to write things, you know. For example, there's so many differences, right? One of the pronunciations, the intonations, and then kind of like the slang or the phrases. Those are the three main differences of any accent, right? But mainly pronunciation and intonation. But like, there's other clues too. Like, for example, you know, whoa, where'd it go? Oh, where's my eraser? But like in Texas and stuff, they all say y'all. Like we say you guys, hey, how you guys doing? But they say how are y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Something like that. And I don't really know it, so don't ask me really too much, you know, because I could kind of sound like it from like a Texas kind of twang to it. Kind of, sort of, but it probably isn't authentic, if you know what I mean. And I don't want to get caught sounding like I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Because basically my Southern accent is just like a conglomerate of like cartoons that I've seen. So, you know, if you want to like learn a Southern accent, is like, far as I can tell, watch like a TV show like King of the Hill. And you'll see what I mean. You know what I mean? But it depends on which accent. So if you're conscious of like New York or Chicago or Texas, right? Just pick one. You know what I mean? And like really master it. And then from there, you can be like, oh, now that's why it's different than California. I get it. So yeah. Yeah, and then the middle states, like, and that's the thing, like there's kind of like this sense of like there's center points, you know, kind of like the West Coast might be centered around like LA or San Francisco, right? But then like the middle of America might be centered around Texas, right? And then Chicago, but in between is literally like an accent that's in between. You know what I mean? Like as if it was like a spectrum. It starts to shift as you move with the geography. So, but again, it depends on the word, and I can pull up some maps of it, and it'd be really interesting. But like I said, that's like that's like an hour-long documentary. And I don't know if people really want to hear that stuff, because I don't know what people really, well, one, people might think that like, oh, I need to learn whatever, like pronunciation, right? But then they'll read a book and just completely miss the point of pronunciation, because you got to listen, right? So even if you think that you want to learn all the differences between the accents, which, might be something to learn, it just really depends on what stage you're at. And so if you don't even have like one accent like down, then I wouldn't worry too much about the other accents. Like when I was learning Japanese, once I discovered Kansai Ben, then it was like, okay, how do I get Maizuru Ben? And so then people are like, oh yeah, nantoka chatta or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I don't get it. Whatever. But like if I speak general Kansai Ben, それは大丈夫やろ. And for more or less it was. So like, okay, that was the end of that experiment. Like how much could I sound like a Maizuru no hito, right? And I kind of got so far, and that was good enough for me. But then I started hearing like Tohoku Ben, Okinawa Ben, まあ広島弁もあるらしいね. So it's like, oh, okay, because like 広島弁ってそうじゃろうとか言うかな。でも俺関西人やからそうやろうっていうなんか、まあ基本があるからみたいなね。だから自分の基本を選んでくださいって感じですね。まず。だからカリフォルニア英語はいかがでしょうかっていつも言うんですけれどもね。俺はね。で、それしか知らないから。違うか。まあ、am I rambling in Japanese again? Excuse me. I always, it's weird. Like, I was speaking English. I know it. But somewhere along the way, I like code switched and like, I didn't catch it. So sorry about that. But remember, one of my big goals is to just give you the pure English as it comes from the mind of an actual human. And I really do want to kind of emphasize that learning English from AI is kind of ridiculous. So here we are. Yeah, so thanks so much, Mickey, for this nice little conversation, because yeah, so normal, and so that would be the thing, is that there is no normal. Every city has its own normal. And you can't escape it, because like there's a lot of people that come to LA from other states, and some people hide their accent. I know they do. People change their accent when they come to California. But that's if you live in California, I guess. You know what I mean? So what would be normal in California would be a California accent, for lack of a better word, right? But if you lived in New York, I'm not exactly sure what would be normal in New York, because I've only been there once. It was right after 9/11. I literally heard, I went there for training. I was doing profiling and security for an airline, for Virgin Airways. It was kind of an interesting job, to be honest. And I saw these like guys come into the meeting at the airport, at the hotel near the airport, and they looked exactly like two New York cops. And guess what? They talked like it. You guys or something. It was like, I swear to God, I thought I was watching some sort of crime drama. And I couldn't believe it, because I'd never met like an actual New Yorker, because I was from California and New Yorkers just don't really come to California. So the New York English that I heard was like all from the movies and TV shows. You know what I mean? So when I actually heard a New York accent, the only thing I can think of was like, wow, this is like a crime drama. I can't believe this is real. So what's normal in New York? I don't know. Like, you literally got to go to New York and find out. Like, what's normal in LA? Well, come to LA and find out, right? So there is no such thing as America. And I don't want to get too deep on this, but like the concept of America is kind of like a dying concept. And I mean, obviously, just watch the news. And the one of the craziest things I saw was on Jon Stewart, and like you guys watch the internet, right? So you can see when like all these violent kind of like things are happening in California. It was funny though, because the propaganda machine in power at the moment was just kind of like saying the same things that they said when America invaded Iraq, which was also a very embarrassing and nasty and regrettable decision, in my opinion, that America did, right? So, what the concept of America is shattered at the moment. And the more you discuss America, even as a concept, and this is my opinion, but even as a concept, it's just a big waste of time right now because it's decaying fast. But concepts such as California and LA, I think they're more tangible. They're more like we can all agree what it is, if that makes any sense. So if that makes any sense, like consensus, right? Like, what is America? The consensus is gone. But what is California? What is LA? Like, people are like, oh yeah, that's like a specific city, with like a specific way of talking. There is kind of like a culture, and it's very California, but like that California culture does not translate to other states. So talking about America is almost just like a waste of time, in my opinion. And listening to the American government right now is a waste of time, because they're literally just trying to scam everybody and milk whatever they can while they can before they get prosecuted for like literal felonies from years of systemic abuse and corruption. Like, I don't know if you guys been following the story or not. So, yeah, this is super good to talk about, because like, as far as I'm concerned, America as a concept is an irrelevant and almost meaningless word. So what is a word that has meaning? Well, if you say California, I get what you're talking about. If you say Texas, I know what you're talking about. So it's basically trying to get our consciousness to move from like 8-bit to 64-bit. If that makes any sense. And seeing all the gray in this like non-black and white world, like, I think that's the other thing that's like really limiting a lot of humans, is their like inability to let go of the past. So it's like, hey, okay, if you're going to insist on labeling everything according to, like monarchs from like 500 years ago, like, okay, fine, I guess, like, sure, but we could also do something new, like, why not, right? But, the battle isn't really like literal. It's just like this kind of like metaphor right now, because like, what are we even doing as like a society anyway, with all of these like borders, So like, it really does become a conversation, because there is no standard. That is maybe the problem. There's so many factions, there's so many countries, there's so many people, but we all got to have a conversation and get on the same page of what's even happening when so many people are lying and deceiving and like I don't know, offering solutions that don't really help the problem. It's kind of like, well, somebody's got to speak up and somebody's got to do something about it. Oh, I wrote a book. I want to share it. So yeah, I'm happy to get your answer. Americans don't have stable comment. Yeah, no, this is good to know because like the concept of English is already murky. The concept of America is murky. So like, let's bring some clarity to the conversation. And I would say that a California accent is, common, but I would say maybe a New York accent is common as well. I just don't hear it, unless it's on TV. So yeah, let's move over to my little, what do we call it? Not the whiteboard. And what we're going to do is I'm going to share with you guys my book because I wrote a book and it's kind of cool and I want to talk about it. That's why. So I'm setting it up at the moment, but this book is it's new because like the book, it's literally ebook, e-publication. I'm going to submit it to Apple Books or whatever, like in the next week. It doesn't matter because it's available on my website for free as we speak. So I wrote a book and here we go, transition into that. And as you can see, you can see like the background files on it. Hold on, let me switch that up and I'll adjust that really quick before we get started. But I've kind of been like avoiding the book because, you want me to be honest? The book theoretically can be downloaded by everybody on the planet because it really teaches basic English in the most precise possible way that even a kindergartner could understand. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to present the book right here in this, I need to put in a background image. Hold on. There's too much black there behind me. So hold on. Just making this nice and sweet for you guys because I have all of the pages to the book right here. You guys are going to love it and it's going to be cool. So let me put in a background image here really quick. I'm getting way better at my, look at that Aura background. Check that out. This app, this app was so hard for me at the beginning. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but here we are, right? Like, I'm getting way better at this app. Here's the book. Boom. Look at that, guys. So, as you can see, this is the California English in human definition. And it requires a human to read it. I was thinking about like adding audio of me. So when you click the thing, it will talk. But I tried to make a book that was universal, and it might need a few like edits, like adjustments as we move forward. But I would say this is a real fundamental, simple explanation of California English. And this is going to be like volume 1, the vowels. I'll do consonants later. But for the meantime, let me just show you the book, because as far as I can tell, the book speaks for itself, literally almost. I didn't put in the play button yet, but it does need a human to read it. So imagine, I don't know, maybe you're a parent. Maybe you already speak English, right? And you want to teach English to your kids, right? Or maybe you already speak English and you have friends that are like, need help with pronunciation, let's be honest. Or maybe you literally are learning English. I don't know. Three camps of like potential people they could like totally use this book. So let me just demonstrate the book. Because like I said, I don't need to explain anything else. Once you see it, and either you get it or you don't. So here we go. Here, let me make sure I see what I see on the, here, I'll use my magic wand if I need to. I'll just point here. That's good enough. So, yeah. Ready? This is the first page. And let me get into announcer mode here for this one and get this all adjusted. Here we go. All right, here we go, guys. Ready? Avocado. Avocado. Apple. Apple. Owl. Owl. Ooze. Ooze. Love. Love. Book. Book. Cheese. Cheese. This one's good. Citrus. Citrus. Emerald. Emerald. Grapes. Or grape. Maybe I should put the S. Night. Night. Potato. Potato. Turquoise. Turquoise. And then, well, like for example, camera. Camera. Avocado. Apple. Owl. Ooze. Love. Book. Camera. Cheese. Citrus. Emerald. Grape. Night. Potato. Turquoise. California English in hue, definition, vowels. I think that's like the last page. So let's just recap everything that we learned because it's literally like right there, right? So got here. You know what? I'm going to fix that so I can point to all of it. I want to be able to point to all of this. So hold on. Make me a lot bigger. Make me like a違うか。あれじゃない。これ違うよ。俺、違うよ。俺、バックグラウンドじゃん。俺ですね。はい、OK。Here we go. Ready? Ah, ow, ooh, e, I, o, oi. You get that? They're all encoded in the color, and all you got to do, look at the color, and then all of a sudden you can see the sound. You see what I'm saying? So that's the book, and it's free. If you want to get it, you just go over to my website. I have a link in the video, and like you can download this for your iPad. It's like I designed it for the iPad or any, what do you call it? Tablet. So like it's like 4:3 or whatever. So it actually is a kid's book. It actually is a junior high school basic English book. This book could be on the shelf of every tsutaya in the country, across the world, in fact. So if you happen to know a bookstore that wants to sell it, let me know. But yeah, like if you got any questions, I'm always happy to answer it. But kind of like I think it's kind of just all self-explanatory, because this avocado, like, it's the green is ah. So every time you see that green, it's ah. And then when you see that red, it's right? And then when you see that color blue, it's ow. Not as common. This sound right here, the owl, is not as common. So, it's on that third tertiary kind of thing. That's why I have like the different, like the ones in the blue are less common. So you don't got to worry about it, right? But the ones in the red, those are your target vowels. Those are the ones that you got to pay attention to. Like if you're just like beginning, like how to like learn a language, you know what I mean? So this is just like the beginning, guys. Like the getting sound down is just like literally the first lesson. And it's so annoying because it's like people are like, oh, I'm an adult, I want to just like get into business English or something. It's like, well, first of all, it's business, And it's like, if you really want to like talk about business, then like, well, sell yourself, let me hear what you got. Like, what are you able to do with English? Like, you think you're good with English? Well, then let's talk about it. Like, let's like have the conversation that like to assess, like if you got this or if you don't got this. Because if you have any questions on how to like become bilingual, I talk about this every single week and nothing's changed. You got to listen. So everything you've been watching up to now is completely meaningless. And I'll say that every single week because you guys got to like really get it, because what you got to do is mimic. And I was really thinking about this morning, but the ability of humans to mimic is like literally why we are what we are. It's like you just put a baby in front of any language and it learns it. Like, and it's not because it's a sponge, it's because it mimics. All right. So you think you can't mimic, then you're literally not trying. So polish it, practice it, get better. If I say mimic, you say mimic, like it's not mimic, it's mimic. So come on. Like, and if we need to get into like, what does mimic mean? Well, I'd have to show you, you know what I mean? That's why it's like, you could sit around and listen all day long, but if you don't actually understand what mimic means right here, this one right here, then you're never going to get it, because you're going to continue to keep reading and not listen. And if I write something out, like, when are you going to get it? And you're like, well, please spell it. And I'm like, no, listen, mimic it, please. Like, that's all you got to do. And what I can do that would be a benefit for you is not writing it, but I can just show you what I just said. So when are you going to get it, right? When are you gonna get it? That's how you hear what I just said, because I didn't say, when are you going to get it? Welcome to English level 22. You are now talking to AI. Thank you for listening. Can I take your order, please? Like, nobody talks like this. So if you're listening to English that talks like this, oh my gosh, you're going to go crazy. So basically, when are you going to get it, right? When are you going to like actually mimic a human being? So when are you going to get it? And that's why I've created my course, is that it breaks down these things that we actually use in a conversation. So guys, again, these are basics, but the basics need to be hammered every single day, because if you're going to get better, if you're going to learn how to become bilingual, you have to focus on the right thing. And then by focusing on the right thing, then you are able to tell stories and, go on dates or sell your product or whatever it is that you want to do, right? But before you even present yourself to, make a business deal or, make a romantic proposal, whatever you're dreaming about, right? You got to get the accent down. You got to get the actual spoken language down. So again, if you're not focusing on all this stuff, watch that video and it will give you the step-by-step procedure that everybody will need to do. You know what I mean? Like, you're a human, all right? There's no hack. There's no secret download. There's no app. There's no book. There's no AI. There's no chat bot that's going to cure your brain from just literally focusing on the boring stuff, which is, right? and then learning the patterns, because the patterns are the things that don't get taught in schools, right? So like this whole right here, you learn 36 patterns and you basically get access to like 1,000 different conversation patterns, because what are they again? So what are you doing? What are you going to do? What'd you do? What do you do? What do you want to do? What do you got to do? These 6 patterns right there literally kind of open all questions available in the English language. So just learn them. There's 36. It's not like it's difficult, right? And then once you have these kind of things kind of like secure and like down, right? Then you move to, well, what's the story that you need to tell, right? Like if you've got your own story like told, and you know what you know how to introduce yourself, right? Well, then what are you trying to sell? What are you trying to look for? What are you trying to make? What are you trying to create? What are you trying to promote? Like, I don't know. How can you connect with the world with English? Because you can literally connect with the world if you just chose to, there's nothing stopping you from like getting millions of people to listen to you if you just present a compelling case for whatever it is you're trying to do. There's so many people on YouTube right now explaining Japan, and they are not Japanese. Can you believe it? I see so many videos about like from white guys explaining Japanese culture. It's like, what? Oh my. Hey, Momoko. Well, welcome. And if you are a beginner, don't worry. We're going to get everything kind of sorted out step by step. But yeah, are you... No, Momoko, I see you. It's fine. I think you're one of my subscribers, right? So if you have questions about that, go ahead and ask. Because if you guys... No, you should know, but I have a subscription program for anybody that wants to like really be serious about this. And this is kind of why I'm doing the live stream as you see it, because back in the day I did the live stream and like, I made it off YouTube, right? I did it on a software, like a private software thing, right? And so, thousands of people would come to my website, but then only hundreds and stuff thousands eventually have seen the webinar, right? But with the webinar I always did like the same kind of like explanation, the same lesson every single time, because there's so many people that don't know like the fundamental story, right? So I still believe in my webinar, my seminar and stuff. And that's why I have the video that you can check out. But this is why this seminar is now live, is so that everything that I've ever talked about is now being applied real time to you. So you can see exactly what's going on. So yeah, Momoko, if that is you from the subscription, thank you so much for joining. Maybe it's not you, I can't tell because of the last name or whatever. But初心者でも初心者だったらさ、日本語で話した方がいいんじゃないって思っちゃうんだけど、ももこさんにも、いや、これは英語だよ、みたいな、ちょっと元気さを上げないとね。で、聞き取れないみたいな気持ち、その辛さ感じた方がいいよね。最初は。留学した時、もう舞鶴に到着してからちょっと焦ったっていうか心配っていうかやばいって感じ。もうこれから毎日朝から夜まで日本語を聞かないと、もうちょっと、圧倒されたって感じ？合ってる？日本語 too much って感じだよね。いきなりそういう気持ちわかります1週間2週間3週間経ってもうしょうがないよねって感じよね。どっかでじゃあ日本語で頑張りますだって最初ね、 これ何ですかみたいな、日本文化わかんなくて、もうすべて質問になって、でもその最初のなんか英語で考えてたかな。What's this? Where do I go? How do I, where's my bike? What about a key? Do I get a key? Do I don't get a key? What about my uniform? Like so many questions, right? でも英語にしてももう意味ないから、じゃあ、学ラン自分の学ランなんだろうこれ誰の学ランだって自分の学ランじゃなかったよね。なんかそのなんていう前の、先輩みたいな人、卒業した人の、学ランを借りたって感じですね。So, all of that experience, right, goes into like learning, but the irony is that you got to hit the switch, right, for yourself, and so it's like, hey, I'm a beginner, and that's fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lend you my voice so you can borrow it. So you can kind of like use it to like, well, start thinking in English, right? So I'm a beginner. And so what? I'm ready. I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to speak English. I'm a beginner because I want to learn. I like to learn. I like English. I like talking to new people. I want to meet new people. I want to meet people from around the world. I want to meet people from around the world who are coming to Tokyo. And any one of these thoughts you can take and just use it as your own. And if you don't agree with what I'm saying, then you don't have to use it for yourself. Like if you don't want to talk to people from around the world, then don't. But, I would hope that's your goal, right? That I want to meet new people. I want to meet people from around the world. I want to go around the world. I want to travel around the world. And when you think these thoughts, all you got to do is literally think exactly what you hear, right? So I want to travel around the world, if that's your goal, is literally the thing that you say. I want to travel around the world. I want to travel around the globe. I don't know which, you could say it any way you want, but like you just basically take any version of that idea and just say it, but say it in English, right? So I'm a beginner because I love learning, right? I'm excited to learn something new. I want to meet new people. I want to have a conversation with new people. I want to get better. I want to sound like an American. I want to sound like a Californian. I want to sound cool when I speak English. I want to sound sophisticated. If that's the case, you should try British English. But you hear what I'm saying, right? That like I'm a beginner and that's good. I'm a beginner and I'm excited. I'm a beginner and I want to learn more. I'm a beginner and I'm glad that I'm finally committing to this. I'm finally, building the courage to get out there and have a conversation with somebody. And again, like I can say this a million different ways, but what you need to do is just basically find the way that is comfortable for you to say it, literally. Because like, as I was learning Japanese and there's like, しないといけない or しなければなりません or something like that, right? And I think like in Kansai, you can say, せなあかん or something like that. And so like I just sit around and practice that one phrase over and over. だってしないといけない、しなければなりません。いろんな言い方があるから、なんか自分らしい言い方は何だろうなと思って、like せなあかん、やらなあかん、あかん、あかん、せなあかん、やらなあかん、やらなきゃ。Anyway, I would practice. I would choose. But then like the Kansai way, right? But then when I moved to Tokyo, I think I really got used to the Tokyo style of speaking. So like all the Kansai stuff went away. But still, the point is that you just take one of those phrases, any one of them, and just say it to yourself all day long. Like a song in the background, I fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know. I saw the Bob Dylan movie recently, and got me thinking about a lot of stuff, like a lot of like the power of like one voice and whatnot. And your voice. Like, this is really a huge like realization that taking songs, for example, and using those like choruses is like mantras, right? For the times they are a-changing. It helps you organize your thoughts in a better way, right? So if you're a beginner, you can say I'm a beginner, but like, let's just get into it, right? Like, let's just say who we are, what we want to do with, like this new skill set. So it's like, yeah, I'm a beginner. I want to travel the world, I want to make new friends. I want to meet English speaking friends, or you can get specific, because even like when I was in college, I spoke Japanese. それでなんか日本人の友達欲しかったよね。日本もうなんだろう、日本語できるからみたいなね。それで誰でもいいんじゃないよね。なんで気が合う人と喋りたいっていう気持ちありますよね。それで大学生の時、俺写真を勉強してて、たまたまなんだろうね、写真勉強してる友達いっぱいできましたよね。Like, it was just kind of like, hey, you got a camera, I got a camera. 日本語できるし、なんか遊ぼうよ、right? So, who do you want to talk to is another thing, but like, I want to talk about art. I want to talk about photography. I don't know. That's the thing. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, what level, like I'm a beginner. Totally cool. Now, who do you want to talk to? That's the next step. So the sooner you kind of like get that established, like I want to talk to artists, I want to talk to photographers, I want to talk to, I don't know, creators, then, well, get out there and start talking, But how do you do that? That's like a whole other subject, right? Because like I don't even do a lot of collaborations with other people. One, because I just don't want to be dependent on that form of content creation. But, we're all dependent on some form of content creation because after all, like we're all trying to learn something, right? And like you need kind of like a theme to like fuel everything, So not that I'm against talking to other YouTubers, right? But it's like be as specific as you can about who you want to talk to. So, for example, me as a teacher, senpai, I want to talk to people learning English, which means I don't want to talk to people who already speak English as a teacher, right? 仕事終わってからね、普通の英語の人と喋ってもね、あれ、俺の日常だからね。でも、こうやって YouTube になると、いや、英語を勉強してる人をくださいって感じですね。ターゲットがありますね。だから君も、ターゲットを作ってくださいって感じですね。誰と英語でおしゃべりたいですかね。So, yeah, that's welcome, Momoko. It's so great because like just like one little confirmation. Again, this seminar, guys, it's not like I have a script, like when I look up, I'm looking at the lights, which I'm not even looking at the lights. I'm looking inside of my head or some memory that you guys like made me think of, because all of what I'm saying is based on my experiences in the real world. The 1000人より1000人って感じですね。There was never one teacher, although I remember singular teachers, like Kotani sensei. She taught me a lot. Thanks, Kotani sensei. Like I remember the people who taught me, like the key people, right? But you need a lot of people, to talk to. So I like your passion. I try to speak it. Good, cool. Well, yeah. Like things like that. Like, I like your passion. If you like my passion, thank you. So it's like, yeah, I like to speak with passion too. Or I like, listening to people who speak with passion. It just depends on what you're trying to say. But yeah, like I hear you. Cool. Well, thank you. Speaking like this is not a problem. Like getting in front of a camera and going blah, 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 blah is like, man, you should have saw me when I was doing the auditions and stuff. Like, I don't know how many people know my backstory, whatever, but I was doing a lot of acting in Tokyo, and I would go to auditions and they would say this, say that. And I'm like, okay, now I just do whatever because like, let's do it. Like, let's have some fun. And it was a lot of fun, but performing is definitely part of the, performing is definitely part of the fun, but actually trying to help people is the point. And like I say, can I say, of course it's a live stream. I don't remember his name, but the ad that I saw, this guy was teaching English, or they're using his face to teach English. And I did a video on his English, and he does not speak English. He does, but like very intermediately, like he sounds like somebody learning English, not teaching English, if that makes any sense. And anyway, he's on an ad for learning English, and it's just like, of course it's AI, and of course it was expensive, and I'm just like, what? Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't understand why people are learning from certain people, and that's fine. Like, this is what they call like a free country, as we say in America. But like, I think the internet is the same thing, where you're kind of like given the freedom to say what you want, but also too, like this whole like English teacher in suits thing is so ridiculous. It's like the last time I saw somebody wear a suit was like a dude that worked at the bank on his break when I was sitting at the cafe, because nobody in California, nobody wears a suit, It's just weird, like when I look at the Japanese corporations teaching English, they're really just like using advertising. Like, I learned it too, so I see it, but like the value proposition, I don't see it being backed by a human, like it literally doesn't make sense to me. And I want to like talk about it because you're the ones that are like learning this, right? Like trying to learn a language, and there's so many people out there offering lessons and whatnot. And here I am, like literally providing like a free talk kind of like thing. And I just realized I didn't do the Zoom thing. So let me do that. Copy invite link, and then here. So yeah, if somebody wants to jump on the Zoom, go ahead. It's totally fine with me. I'm down with that. You guys are welcome to. It'd be cool if we had a little chat. And again, it's just me kind of dealing with so many different things right now. So I appreciate your patience as I fumble through whatever you want to call this presentation. But I was really excited to do the book and share the book with you guys. So I hope you do check it out. It is, like I said, free on my website. So please head over to there and get the book when you get the free trial and the subscription and whatnot. So as you can see, it's just so beautiful. And if you want to learn more, because like basically it's like, okay, this is the fundamental book, right? Just like core colors. But then once you get the colors down, like me, I have these colors memorized. It's almost crazy, like literally. So you just take it to any words in English, right? So check this out. So, because one of the things, this word, is it data or is it data, right? And I created this little thing to help you remember, so we got daddy, data, and then data. So you see like the gray T, right? That's a D, right? So it's like day or data. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You see that? The O and the A. It's the same thing because it's pink, right? Because it's the color, right? So anyway, like this is why I love my system, because you could see, that's da, and this is day, da, right? You see it, like you literally see it. So I don't know, just knowing what the pronunciation is, right, is extremely helpful. 違うか. So so it's like I can give you guys every single free thing in the world. Give you a free book and give you guys a free app. I can give you guys like an hour of my time and I can chat with you. And the cool thing is, and what I'm going to eventually do, if you guys are listening, is that basically, because here we are, like 10,000 people a day, right? And like, what's the best thing I can do? It's like, well, I could spend time making another video that will get, another 1 million views, which is nice, getting views and whatnot. But eventually, if we really break this down, everything is about me having a conversation with you and making sure you're okay and guiding you to whatever your dreams are, because I'm not your dream, your dream is to go out and talk to people, make new connections with people, whatnot. I'm just kind of like senpai ne, like a tour guide, like, oh, go here, careful about this, but focus on this and you'll be fine in like 3 months, good luck, have fun, enjoy your life, and give you the confidence to move forward, and in that kind of process, there is a time where you need a coach. You need somebody to kind of like help you focus on what matters. And that's why I offered the subscription service now, because I think the subscription service is going to be the best way to really focus my time and your time as well. I don't like, how do I say this? I'm okay with doing one-on-one lessons, right? I do that. I've done that. That's where I've developed all of my theories, is talking to so many people, right? So I don't mind doing it because I know what I'm doing. The thing is, when 10,000 people are coming to my videos, right? I just feel this kind of like, okay, well, how do I make sure that like 10,000 people, all of them are learning something, And if I give 10,000 people my free book and they like see the colors and they start learning pronunciation, and then 10,000 people, well, okay, 14,000 people have downloaded the app already, but you hear what I'm saying. There's a lot of people out there that are seeking help for, their English. And how do you help? Well, like I said, I can only give so many free things and I can only guide you so far. But even with all this like self-help stuff, if you have questions about how do you become bilingual, how do I learn, or if you just need practice with somebody, you can go click the Zoom link. I just shared it. Now, I know it's live, and this is always the, how do you say, the fear line, I guess, is that everybody's like, well, I want to talk, but like I'm embarrassed if I go online, and do it in front of everybody. It's like, well, welcome to reality. I mean, and it's not like anybody's watching this anyway, you know what I mean? So if you did need an opportunity to practice with somebody, I'm putting out the link there just in case you need it, because that's what you do. You make yourself available, and it's all up to you guys. basically, because if I can get you guys to be unconsciously competent and focusing on accent and going out there and talking to 1,000 people every day, then like you're going to get better without my help, and which is exactly what you signed up for, right? So great. But in this kind of conscious competence phase, that's when you're like still learning the difference between all the color or the sounds, excuse me, and the pronunciations, and you're still trying to figure out how to kind of like do everything. Well, then that's where you need a coach, right? That's where you need somebody to kind of like, hey, focus on this, work on your fundamentals, work on your pronunciation, blah, blah, blah. Like, and this period though is only 3 months, 6 months tops, right? So it's like, okay, for the select few thousand people that need that, well, here we are, right? We can have a conversation if you want. But if you don't need it, fine. You know, I'm totally cool with that, because honestly, for me, I'm dealing with such large numbers that like, do you know how many app companies try to get me to make a video for them? Not a lot, but a lot. I mean, not a lot, but a lot. You know what I mean? Like it happens once a month or once every few months. So and it's been a few years now. So it's just like, okay, but like, I'm not going to waste my time. You know, I don't want to waste anybody's time, especially over fundamentals, you know, like what I just made in a sense is like a kindergarten English book, but kids of all ages, including you, will definitely learn from it. Like, I don't know how else to explain it, you know, because like if I say like the in English, you know, they call it the schwa, like the above, right? The schwa sound, right? But in my system, it's pink. It's the love, right? So love, and that's how you learn it, because that love pink, right? So if you get to a word like this word right here, two, it says like two, right? Do you see my mouse, or is that no? That's no way. So you guys see the mouse now, right? On the O. Oh, that's so cool. I just learned something. My mouse and anyway. So you see this like this two isn't two. It's pink. It's duh. So like if I have to explain a sound, like no, it's the pink love right? Boom, boom, boom. You understood what I said. No more fucking around, basically, you know, because English like is so fucked up, you know, and that's a whole video series too. And to the degree, I mean, like here, let's pull out the book. Like, you know, this is why I made the book. I mean, it's like literally like, seriously, if we look at all these spellings that are available in English, right? Look at the O, okay? The O is like, yeah, I'm just gonna move it up a little bit. Oh, cool. これ、まあいいや。なんか微妙に見えるからいいんじゃない? Okay, so just like follow the O, right? Because you got ow, oo, O, right? Oi. And that's just some of them, because even the A makes like an O sound, but like, what are we even talking about? Are we talking about letters? Are we talking about sound? And this is why English is so confusing, because everybody talks about the letters and not the sound. But then you look at this one right here, citrus, that right there, citrus is the same sound. So what is the point of having the letters? Well, it's too late. You know, we can't fix the spelling in the sense because of just hundreds of years of English, but the color definitely does fix the letters. So, yeah, like this, any new word that you experience, you may or may not know the pronunciation. That's why the color system is super useful. And that's why downloading the app is super useful too, because you can look up any word that you want and really take command of your own language learning experience. So that's where it really gets into why I kind of like teach the way that I do, is that I want you guys to be independent, and I want you to get out there and learn for yourself through your own experience. Make a friend, make a boyfriend, get a job, start a YouTube channel, start an Instagram channel, do whatever you want, but just enjoy it. And do it on your own, like independently, right? So, like I said, my role is really small in your life. And here we are, once a week, just me being available to all the possibilities that you guys are going through. And I'm here to listen if you need it. But like I said, I understand if you're embarrassed to do it in front of other people. Totally makes sense. I get it. You guys won't believe me. Well, okay, you will, but like I was an exchange student, right? And I had to go to English class. And oh my God, I know why you don't speak English, all right? Trust me. Just trust me. This is like high school English class, okay? So we're already talking about 5 years, right, of English education. Because 1年生3、1、2、3でしょ。で、高校1、高校2。俺、高校2、2年5組だったからさ。もう5年間 right? Everybody's learning and it's like they'd never heard English before, right? And, the teacher would like ask a question and like excuse me, it's like you could either way, but nobody ever once really paid attention to accent, Everybody spoke katakana English. And I started that class like literally not being able to speak Japanese. And by the end of the year, I spoke better Japanese than they spoke English, even though they'd been speaking English for, learning English for 5 years. What's the difference? You can only learn outside of a classroom. I just don't believe anybody learns anything in a classroom. And, when you finally hit high school, you start to realize that you got to get out and like have real world experience, and learning from books and teachers is good for a while, but you got to graduate. So, and here we are with English schools trying to keep you in a school, keep you in some sort of program, or keep you in some sort of thing. And so it's like, in all of that, when there's actual sound advice that you guys could be listening to, you're listening to a lot of bullshit out there. And I'm here to tell you, well, if you ask me, I'll tell you what's bullshit or not, but I don't want to like get in the way of anybody else's business. So I try not to, you know what I mean? That's why it's kind of sticky when I like review like a YouTuber's English, because they're trying to tell you like, hey, learn English with me, right? It's like, well, let's think about it. Why not? Like, let's like, why would I do that? Why would I learn English from you? Because like, I cannot fathom learning Japanese from an American. I see ads for it, and I'm just like, what? Like, guys, I get ads for Japanese classes too. And some of them have really, quote, unquote, bad English. Hello, everybody. Do you want to learn Japanese? Like, they're really just, their English is not, good per se, or, but they're teaching Japanese. So it's like, oh, what are you teaching? I don't care if their English is good or not. I want to learn Japanese from a Japanese person. それでもね、なんか標準語のレッスンが多くてさ、それも意味なくないって感じ？日常的な喋り方のレッスンはないかな？あるかな？わからん。やったことないからね。まあ、現実で習ったからさ、まあ、ラッキーっていうか、まあ、留学したからね、 違うか。Anyway, so it's a big, nice little round circle, but like I said many times, and probably going to keep saying many times, but my dedication to you guys learning is here. It's right here. It's me doing a live stream once a week is kind of like the balance point, I would say, right now, because I'm not going to Japan in the summer. Sorry. Just like living in Tokyo in the summertime for so many years. Like, if there was ever a time that I wanted to escape Japan, it was summertime. And so I'm not going back in the summertime. So here we are. In the meantime, I'm chilling. I have my studio, and this helps me. It just makes it so much easier to make videos. When I was traveling around the world making videos, the quality wasn't there, So, like, I'm trying to do the best that I can in making a video, but the quality is one thing. The concept is really more important. But anyway, it is much easier for me to have the home studio so I can make content just like easily without traveling. One of the big questions that I'm going to have to like really figure out is the whole visa situation in Japan. It's like 3 months, you have to leave. And so it's like this weird, I heard there's a digital nomad thing. And so it's a complicated process to like go to a different country. So, and to live there, right? I think you guys all know that. So anyway, but for now, what I am trying to establish is my digital footprint on how I'm going to interact with you guys. And it goes like this. Here at the live stream, I am literally here for anybody that wants to chat. It's that simple. And I know the time isn't good right now, like the morning time and the Sunday. I should be doing this in the evening. It's just that in the evening, in your evening is my 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. And I'm not going to do that. I am not going to. I'm sorry. I'm not a morning person. So we're compromising with the time. Now, when I do go to Japan, I'm still going to do the seminar like you guys are seeing. I just expect there's going to be a lot more people watching. So I'm setting up the footprint of what I'm going to be doing digitally now. So whatever you see right now is just the beginning. You see like what? There's like one person watching right now. That's going to be in the future. It's going to be 10. It's going to be 20. It's going to be 30 when I get to the right time slot. But like I said, here we are. So, but even then, being able to reach out and talk to you guys once a week is more than enough. Also, too, when you do become a member, is in my membership thing, is that you do get to contact me through email and through chat daily. So if you do have any questions about anything, about my courses, about like your situation in life, you just send me a quick email and like I'll give you a quick answer depending on what day it is and whatnot. And then basically I'll coach you through whatever you're going through. And that subscription is just like $10 a month for now. And this is like totally like, I swear to God, because I saw the other school, right? And they were offering theirs for like, let's just say like $200. And I was just like, whoa, a $200 subscription. So that is an amazing price. I don't know if I can offer a $200 subscription, but I mean, I used to offer the $300 lifetime pass, right? So anybody that's bought one of my courses has a lifetime pass to the course. So I think there's a lot of value in that. It's just that $300, and for anybody that got my $300 course, like, hit me up if you have questions. I say you can finish it in 6 weeks. Maybe it takes you a little longer. I'm still here. I'm still ready to help, right? But, moving forward, learning English, it millions, billions of people are doing it. And so it doesn't do me any good to just have this one-on-one kind of package, because with with the 300 course, because there's less people, I can manage, having multiple students at once, right? But if I'm going to have 10,000 people, download my book or my app, or my course, right? There's got to be a measured way to handle it. I can't talk to 1,000 people or 1,000 emails, honestly, as email is important, I don't want to be spending all day writing emails. I'd rather spend all day having conversations, if that makes any sense. So, in the meantime, this is what it is. I think it's a good little balance. This what do you call this? Live stream kind of seminar kind of thing that we're doing right now. I think this is a good balance. It allows me to get out and see you guys, which is always good. I prefer doing this face to face for sure. But the internet, right? This is the power of the internet. But even then, when you can listen to anything on the internet, what are you listening to? What are you tuning into? Who are you listening to? Who are you learning from? It's important that you guys really be selective on how you spend your time. And believe it or not, 90 minutes of English like we just did is nothing. We're not even at the quarter. We're not even at the halfway mark for sure. And we're not even at a quarter of a day, if you were to focus on something let's say work for 8 hours, you would be, 2 hours would be your first quarter. And we're not even at 2 hours yet, right? So think about it. You really have to think about it, that all of the things that I've said up till now really don't mean anything. You got to keep looking to the future and putting more time into what you're doing, which is, learning a language. The reason why, 日本で留学した時の成功のレシピやっぱ毎日10時間勉強してたんじゃない？違うか。でもそうだよ。毎日10時間勉強してたから上達したんじゃない？君は毎日10時間勉強してんの？英語。やってないの？だからじゃないのって感じですね。本当にもう毎日10時間ぐらいリスニングしたらもう上達するよって感じ。でもリスニングだけじゃないよね。真似しないとね。もうリスニングインプットしてもアウトプットもねやんないと、ね、どういうアウトプットね、そのアウトプットの、クオリティね、過失はどうですかって感じですね。それでアクセントのモノマネのやり方ね、それでもしかしてマンツーマン的なレッスンが必要かもわかんないんだけど、俺が手伝っても手伝わなくても英語ネイティブの人を聞いて真似するだけだよね。毎日10時間もう以上ですねみたいな。これ以上レッスンがないって感じですね結局。だからこれからどうするんですかって感じですね。勉強方法決まっとるか？なんか計画ありますかって感じですね。計画英語違うか。なんかジャッキーちゃんの映画があるんじゃない？Anyway, I do appreciate you guys coming. It was fun. We got to talk about a lot of things, as you can see from the visual right here. And it's so funny because me and my friend were talking about another friend, and we were talking about making music, and one of our friends was kind of like what brings a lot of instruments to the show, and he plays all the instruments by himself, and he's like, well, I gotta bring all the instruments, otherwise why would anybody come, and it's like, well, but that's the thing, you're a guy playing by yourself, so your voice has to be the thing as to why people come, or like, why is anybody coming, right? And so I don't know, it all comes down to the voice, and all of this visual stuff that I'm doing for you guys is kind of like beyond, like literally, like totally not needed. So let's go back to the cloud and stay in the cloud. But I'm out of here, guys. It's getting late. It's a beautiful evening here in California. It's not too hot. It's only 23 degrees right now. So chill. So I'm going to have a relaxing night, and I hope you guys have a powerful day. I hope that you actually keep listening to something. Like I say, 1000人より1000人だから、カイ先輩のライブストリームが一つの声って感じですね。これから10人、他の英語の先生の10人の英語を聞いて真似して進んでくださいね。Because, like I said, I'm not trying to be your one teacher. I'm just trying to show you the collective way, the collective power and learning from all different types of people, but, filtering it down into your own voice so that, you can actually use it and talk to people and make experiences and meet new people. I mean, it's so crazy to think that, like, if I go to a cafe, I could just easily listen to somebody speak English and go talk to them. Because I'm in America, I'm in California, right? But you guys can do the same thing. I swear, I've been in Tokyo, I've been in Osaka, I've been in Kyoto. There's plenty of opportunities for you guys to speak English in reality. So I hope you do it. I hope you get off the phone, and I hope you talk to people face to face, because otherwise, really, you're not really learning English unless you're talking to a person. And I know this monitor thing looks like we're like talking face to face. So I guess, this is literally like the best thing that I could be doing for you guys, because like, what else are you going to do? Are you going to read a book? Are you going to write? Like, that's not going to help. Like, think about it. For 100,000 years, did humans have an iPhone or an iPad to teach them how to learn a language, right? Like, this is all about face-to-face human communication, and that's why YouTube is such a powerful platform, because it puts minds together, right? This has nothing to do with the internet. It has nothing to do with AI. It has nothing to do with robots. It has everything to do with humans listening to humans, and then in the case of like learning a second language, it's just mimicking them. Mimicking, not reading, not writing, right? And this is so fundamental. Like, it's almost like gravity works. You don't even need to understand how it works. It just does, right? But it's like having like some weird theory. It's like flat earthers or something. It's like when I hear other people try to teach English, it's like, but that's not how it's done. And I have to keep saying it, because you're just going to delay the inevitable. You got to get out there and talk to people, right? Like, you got to get out there and talk to people. Like, how else are you going to learn if you don't get out there and talk to people? So that is why, again, the Zoom lesson is always available for somebody that wants to really learn. But if you kind of are like embarrassed in talking to people in front of other people, then we can do something a little more private, but you got to go to my website, check out the video or whatever, and contact me that way. Because like I said, 10,000 people, see my videos, and then, I have my like 3-step video, right? I'm like, hey, 俺の3ステップ学習法ご覧ください, right? You know how many people see that every day? Like 100? There's a lot of people that want to learn English. And so I really have to do the thing that's best for everybody. And the amount of time that I have is just not a lot, because I have a particular skill set in making videos. So if this, like if the next video just goes crazy and like something like 10 million people see it, big if, right? Maybe then I'll get like a editor, maybe I'll shave too, but like I'm just not really concerned about making videos right now, because I know I can do it. What I'm concerned about is making sure you have the tools to teach yourself how to speak more like a Californian. So, like I said, go over, join the membership, and I will literally make sure you're on the path, which is not mine, I want you to graduate as soon as possible. So that's why I think also too, the membership is like the best way to do it, because like while you're learning, you pay and you focus, right? But as soon as you're done learning, you end the subscription. You know what I mean? So, which is fair. I expect to see 1 million people join my subscription and then 1 million people graduate. But I also know that right behind 1 million people is another 1 million people learning English. So I'm not too worried about people graduating. You know what I mean? I'm just worried about introducing myself to 1 million people, which I've already done. So anyway, my quest is slightly different than your quest, but we can continue together as long as we need to. I have enough space, as me and my friend call it, bandwidth. I have enough bandwidth to pay attention to you and answer your questions if you need any help, right? So that's why you join the membership, because it kind of like a politician, like I'm funded by you guys, all of this help and support that I can give you, right, is my job. And if you guys in return, show appreciation, then it makes it so much easier to focus on you. You know what I mean? So don't be shy. If you want to learn more, go click that video, check it out. If you want to learn directly with me, sign up. It's a free trial. 無料体験ですよね。だから、like, what are you waiting for? I don't know. What are you going to do next? I don't know. But I hope that I've given you enough tools and excitement and fun, and like literally, like this book right here. Oh wait, no, not that one. This one. I wrote it on Thursday. Me and my friend were talking. He was like, I wrote a kid's book and stuff, and I was like, what? And so I was like, I can write a book, because I had the app for a few years, right? I just never got around to finishing the book. So here we are. I got the book. So is it true that people aged 18 to 25 in the U.S. could be drafted into war? I know that's what we talked about when I was in high school. Like, ooh, I don't want to get drafted, right? Like we learned about the Vietnam War and the draft and the draft dodgers, like President Trump, he dodged the draft. So is it true that people 18 to 25 could be drafted in the war now? I don't know. I don't believe anything that the propaganda machine is saying right now. So I hope not, but it could be true. But then again, like I said, everything that administration says is basically a lie. So, I don't know. But then, I mean, a lie in the sense that like, not everything, because they said they were going to go after immigrants and they did. So, you know what I mean? So it's like all the evil stuff that he's doing, he like does, and everything that he says. Yeah. So who knows, man? I don't know. Who knows, man? Sorry, a little too Californian, but yeah, I don't know, to be honest. And it's bad news if it's true. But then again, no. This is why don't apologize. But this is what I'm telling you. Like, as somebody that's, walking around California and talking to people, I haven't heard anything. But also, too, just in the current state of America right now, is that everything coming out of the news sounds like a fake story. And I don't know if it's real or not, especially what's happening in Iran right now. So there's a weird kind of like, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what not to believe, but there is a sense of like scariness to it too. So, it's a good question. And I wish I knew the answer, but like at this point, they say so many crazy things. It's just impossible to know what's true and what's not true right now. So it's sad. It's crazy. And I feel really bad for a lot of people. I just know, like, if you say draft, right? Like, I don't have to worry about it because like I'm 102, but for the young people, it sucks. But not only just the draft, though, the way that they're deporting people is just inhumane, in my opinion, and I can't believe it. And like, I haven't seen it face to face yet, but apparently, one of the cafes that I go to, the girl at the cafe was saying that there was an ICE raid in the plaza that they're in. And I wasn't there when it happened, but that would have been the closest I've been to seeing an actual raid in person, because I've seen it like online a lot now, and it's just like, this can't be true, right? But then you see more video, but then you hear somebody said, no, I saw one with my own eyes, right? And so what are you going to do if you see it happen? And it's like, it definitely... there is a weird, I don't want to say fantasy because I don't want to have to do it, but like, if there was something happening in front of me, I would do my best to protect that person, without getting shot. So I don't know. We'll see what happens when it happens. But I don't want to have to step up and be a hero, but like, I've done it before. So like I don't know, we'll see. Because like, after the earthquake happened, 2011, everybody freaked out, right? I got like a invitation to become a translator for the news, and we drove up to Tohoku, and I was kind of scared, but I also felt like I could do it because I got invited to be a translator. And she said she invited other people, but they weren't willing to go. But I was willing, and I knew it. So I went. And everything for us, at least, was fine. So, yeah, we were in danger. And we were in psychological danger because we kept... thinking the thing was going to blow up, but because these were the early days, right? Like before everything calmed down. But anyway, I don't want to imagine disaster, but what's happening in America is a disaster right now for a lot of people. And I feel powerless to stop it. But if I do see it in front of me, we'll see what happens, Like I'm not going to get shot over it, to be honest, because been deported myself. I'll not get into that story, but from Japan, long story. Modeling wasn't a real job, I guess, but it's a sad situation, and that's why like I say, I'd rather say I'm a Californian because America kind of sucks right now, to be honest, and I feel stupid for because it sounds stupid, like if I say like learn American English, it just sounds arrogant and stuff, like, but it's like so not. Like American English is not number one, or it's just like a what do you call it? A coincidence that Hollywood makes so much content that everybody's used to hearing a California accent. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the best. It's just a common accent, that's why I recommend it. So it's nothing to do with like countries or anything, it has more anything to do with just the practicality of what all the media that's produced out of California. That's it. So yeah, but anyway, Alo-san, thank you so much for stopping by again too. Like it's like the reason why I want to kind of keep the momentum of doing a weekly seminar is, so I see you guys every week and we can touch base and like keep each other up to date what's going on in America. Because yeah, the protest or whatever, like I could have gone to LA, but just to see. But, my channel isn't the American news channel. You know what I mean? Like, would I have to start like a whole new channel? And that's an interesting concept. I'm not going to lie. Like, Kai senpai, American news みたいなね. I don't know. But I don't know what it would look like. I don't know. I could do it. Like, I know how to use a camera, but like, would anybody want to watch it is like the bigger question. And would I enjoy it? I don't know. But it is interesting. It is an interesting concept for sure. So anyway, like I said, we're getting to 2 hours, which is amazing. That means that we're to the quarter mark of like a full day. That means like you take a break and then you study it 2 more hours, then maybe take a lunch break and study, like remember 8 hours a day would be the minimum I would be doing if I was you guys, if I was learning English, right? If I was learning English. Finding 8 hours is your task. It is your job. And with enough mental clarity, you could just like literally think in English for 8 hours and you would get fluent. But, when your surrounding world is like all in Japanese, it's hard to flip that switch and think in English. So it may be hard, but you can try, short of hopping on a plane and going to America, you have the power of your own mind to think in English, right? And you can surf the internet in English too, but please just get away from classrooms, get away from teachers as much as possible. Talk to a teacher and a coach from like, 10, 30 minutes at the most, the coach, right? But you continue your studying long after you talk to coach. You guys should be spending hours by yourself working on pronunciation, 省略パターン, and you should be spending hours listening to English content. And then you should spend hours talking in English, right? Like it's like a full package of like things you got to do, right? Like the fundamentals, like the listening, right? Like the listening, the speaking, that all happens like by yourself. But then a conversation, right? Like the integrated path of all components, and now you're really cooking. But until you're having conversations, you're still learning. And if you're still learning, then you got to put in the time. And so, full circle, full spiral here. Guys, thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. If you want the free book that you can put on your tablet so you can like read to your kids, then go check it out. Because like I have it like right here at my tablet. Here, I'll show you. Oh, what's going on? Oh, that's all right. I'm just going to put it on this camera here. So I have it like on. So, okay. So you can see there's the color green on my screen there, but you see it's like iBooks, right? And you go to iBooks because I downloaded it, my thing from my thing, right? So anyway, so now the book is downloaded. Oh, wow. You see the green, the avocado green. It's like, it gets caught up on the color. Yeah, wow, that's funny. So anyway, but then as you can see the red, right? So yeah, sorry, green screen prevents you from seeing the green, but there it is, right? The book is like literally on an iPad. So you can say to your kid, like you can read this to your kid, like a kid's book almost. Well, almost. So avocado, apple, owl, ooze, right? Oh, well, the pink isn't showing up. That's sad. Oh, there it is. Do you see it? There we go. You see that right there? What's that? That is love, right? So anyway, it's like a real ebook, if that made any sense. And eventually I'm going to put it on the iTunes or whatever, and I'll sell it for like $5 or whatever. But you can get it for free on my website, because literally every baby on the planet can read that book. Well, a baby, like a kindergartner. Because I remember my first lesson where I learned about the vowels, and my teacher said, there's a vowel in everybody's name. And I remember looking at everybody's name, like all the kids around me. I was like, oh my God, you have a vowel too. I have a vowel, like the Kyle, right? So anyway, I remember my first vowel lesson, all right? It's an important lesson. But my book is by far definitely a better lesson than anything that's ever been developed. I am H-O. I typed that one. So, but anyway, yeah, one more time. I'm gonna read the book one more time, because this book could be read 1,000 times, and it will be awesome 1,000 times. Here we go. Ready? So, avocado, apple, owl, ooze, love, book, cheese, citrus, emerald, grape, night, potato, turquoise, camera. And then there's some of the things to help remember. Obviously, so for example, some of the vowels in English, you don't pronounce the vowel, obviously, right? So it's kind of see-through. You can't see it. So like an empty camera. Then turquoise, obviously, turquoise. And then purple potato, 食べたことないかな? Then night, I think that's pretty, dark. And grape, grape's grape. You get the picture there. And then emerald, I don't know. Looks pretty emerald to me. Citrus, literally citrus. Cheese is, maybe a stretch, but blue cheese kind of looks like this, right? Book really could have been anything. I mean, like a purple book, whatever. But I didn't worry about it on this one, because there's only sugar, book, could, would, and that's about it. So love could have been a few things like umbrella, flamingo, but love with the pink I thought was just the best way. Ooze, obviously the ooze could be more grimy, but you get the picture with ooze, right? Like ooze, ooh, shoes, news, right? And then owl, this was another one where it's a blue owl doesn't really make sense, but I don't know, with the eyes right there, striking image. Can't forget those blue eyes, right? Owl. Apple red, obviously. And then avocado green, just every time you see the avocado green, it's ah, right? So it's ah, ow, ooh, e, a, I, o, oi. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. And like I said, read it over and over to your kids. You get the kid to point, look at the letters, look at the shapes, look how the O changes. This book will literally be hours of education. All right. So, and the cool thing is too, once you learn the color system, I can make a kid's story. If you guys wanted a kid's story, I can write one, but I don't know. If you guys like the book, let me know. Because when you download it, you get my email or whatever, so we can chat or whatever. But yeah, I already went ahead and downloaded I emailed a few thousand of you. So if you download the book for free, it's my free gift to you, because when are you going to get it? You got to listen, pay attention to sound, pay attention to accent. And I'm giving you literally every single tool possible to kind of get you to hear the actual accent. So what a beautiful 2 hours, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by. Normally I don't make it this long, because I'm so tired by, this time, because remember, it's nighttime and I'm ready to go to bed. I'm ready to sleep and eat dinner and whatnot. Wake up and enjoy a Sunday. But hopefully I'll be seeing you guys soon. Not in the summertime, sorry. If anything, I thought maybe I could go to like Japan and Hokkaido in the summertime. But, you know, like if I go to Japan, it kind of makes sense that I should go to Tokyo. But anyway, like we'll see. California is nice in the summer. Well, my hometown is nice in the summertime, so there's no real motivation to like hurry up, you know what I mean? So anyway, all these different things are happening all at once, and things are really exciting for me, to be honest, you know, because, you know, when I have 10,000 of you guys looking at my videos every single day, I'm like, wow, like, what are we going to do about this? How are we going to, you know, actually learn? And like, how do I invite you guys to learn more? Because videos are just like, well, I'm curious about, you know, somebody's English, you know, I'm curious about Utada Hikaru or whatever, right? So it's like, you're curious, right? But like, when are you going to actually, you know, become bilingual or learn an accent? Well, it starts right now. It's been, well, not now, it's always now, but I mean, it's like it started whenever, and here we are now, and where are we going to go from here? And so just keep the course, keep going down this rabbit hole, and pretty soon you're finally going to get what I'm saying. And then if you get what I'm saying and you still want like to be involved, you know, maybe you can like share the book for me. Like I put it in the back of the book. Like here, I'll show you. But like it's basically like, look, if this book is cool, share it with people. You know, read it to people. Get out there and like show people how cool this is. Because why? Like seriously, show it to your kids. Get back to me. All right. Like literally, like it's like one thing. Because I remember. Because I was teaching kids, right? And this is where I learned the color. This is where I developed the color system, excuse me. But one of the moms was teaching the baby English, and she was like, apuru? Apuru? I was like, oh, no, please. That's why I'm here. Let me introduce your baby to the sounds. And if you, mother, would like to teach your kid English, you should learn English first. Like it was like a big like, whoa, hey, apuru みたいな this is apuru みたいなあれまあどうだろうねって感じですね。どうだろう。カタカナ英語通じないからね、実際。まあ。So anyway, I've seen amazing things, all right? I've seen people do unbelievable things in the context of what I know to be like how you actually learn a language, right? So I hope you guys don't do things that are irrelevant and wasting your time. You know, I hope you're not spinning your wheels on anything that just, you know, like not getting anywhere. You know, it's like ramming your head against a wall, you know, like the sense of progress doesn't seem to be happening. But hopefully after, you know, spending a few hours with what I'm saying is that you're going to feel like a sense of progress. Like, okay, I'm finally understanding what a real human is saying. So yeah, I hope it was good for you guys, and it was fun for me. And I'll see you next week because, like I said, the seminar is something, this live stream is something that is not hard for me to dedicate to. So I'm going to continue to do it. And I think I have everything now in a nice little presentation package because, you know, I'm giving you guys a free app. I'm giving you a free book. I have a course. There's so many things that the live stream, it's like, if there's anybody in 2026 that still doesn't speak English, just come to my channel, all right? And I'll help you out. So guys, take it easy. Have a good one. Thank you so much for your questions from Ao-san. I appreciate it so much. And then Momoko, again, if you're the member that I saw, thank you so much for showing up. And if you have any more questions, send me an email or we'll talk later because we have plenty of time to talk. And then also Mickey's Piano from America. Thanks so much for all the the questions there. And yeah, that like what we talked about, I have not said in a video yet. So just because like American English, British English, it's like everybody's asking about it, but it's like you don't even know the difference between American English and American English. So yeah, there's a lot of videos I could make, but I'm always like, torn between, well, I can get the video that makes 1 million views, or I can make a video that makes Mickey happy, and maybe if I make Mickey happy, then I make 10 or 20 or 200 people happy, right? But again, experimentation is also part of the game of being a YouTuber, and I will continue to make videos, guys. If you guys want to see me make a video on a specific subject, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to look at the analytical data and make an educated guess on what I should make. And I've already made the decision of what I'm going to make. It's just a matter of bringing it together. But the next video is going to be about basically, like, I think that I've misdefined Kikoku Shijo, Eigo native, right? And I'm going to basically make like a new list that says that there's a few people. Well, I'll give you an example just because she won't be in the video, but because she's a YouTuber. But Bilingaru Chika is basically like a native English speaker, even though she was not born in America, right? So before I would be like, well, that sounds like Kikoku Shijo, right? She came to America at an early age, right? But if you really listen to her English, she sounds like a native English speaker. But if you compare her to somebody like Mitchang, who's also somebody that came to America at an early age, the difference is Mitchang went back to Japan, right? If you've heard her story. And there is a difference between her English and Bilingaru, Chika-chan's English, right? There's a difference. And I've made the videos that explain that difference. So basically, it's kind of like, okay, so just because they came to America doesn't mean they're not native. Like you can become native. Like literally watch the video and you'll see, because like these actresses and actors sound native, even though they were not born in America. Maybe that would be the title. Like, not born in America なのに、アメリカ生まれじゃないのに、native? あれ書いとこうか。Because I've been thinking about like I'm pulling up my notes. Can you guys see the notes? I don't think you can see the notes. So I'm going to write that down. That was such a good idea. Well, as an idea, I'll see if it works or not. アメリカ海外生まれじゃないのに、日本生まれじゃあ、whatever. See, that's what I'm saying. How do I say it? 海外生まれじゃないのに、英語ネイティブ? Like question mark? Anyway, that's just an idea. I'll ask AI if that's good or not. I just use AI for double checking things, kind of like a spell check kind of thing. And translation, but I always try to make sure that I'm the one that's talking to you guys. So anyway, because I don't want to bother. Yeah, it's like I don't have like senpai right now because I'm in California, and like the amount of questions that I have about Japanese, because I have to write everything, all the headlines, and so it's like I really could use like a Japanese speaker. But, to double check everything, because I'm like literally writing everything, and I don't know if it's 100% because I'm not native, right? Like I just want to make sure. So it's like I am writing all the content, just double checking kind of feeling, right? Everybody has that, especially with spelling. But yeah, so everything you're seeing is from me. I'm literally making all this content like this. Like I showed AI this, and it still doesn't fully understand exactly what's going on, but it gets that I'm like using color, and like I almost see it as like the test to see if AI is actually smart or not. It's like, if you understand this, if you can figure this out, then you're a genius. Like, just like it's all there. Like you can see, like everything that you need to know about my book is like all literally right there. My book, my color system, whatever you want to call it. Because like if this was on a shelf, like, I don't know. I think it has everything that you need to like learn about California English. But anyway, I digress. Guys, thank you so much. I'm out of here. I keep rambling, but you guys keep listening, so I keep talking. But I'm gonna pull the Band-Aid, off the arm hair. It's gonna hurt, but basically, I'll see you guys later. And to everybody on the subscription, the membership, I will be emailing you soon. We'll be talking soon, and I'll talk to you guys later. If you want to get the book that you see right here, go to my website. You'll see the link over there, and you get it for free because you guys are cool. And once it's on the Apple Store, which will be in a few weeks, a few days, few weeks, whatever, but it's going to cost money over there because it's like legitimately a book that's better than every fucking book out there. Excuse my French. I'm not a French teacher. I'm an English teacher. So, guys, I'll see you later. Take it easy. Peace out, and have a good one. Bye-bye.